Hello everyone, this is Thomas Hu, founder and CEO of Kyber Capital and Kyber Intelligence. Kyber is a lead investor in venture projects dedicated to decentralized innovation. We're very happy today to have CoolBitX founder and CEO Michael O and Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, with us on this Frontier Elite interview. So Michael, what are your first impressions when you heard about Bitcoin? And would those considerations be main drivers for you to create CoolBitX? And share with us a little bit about your story. Yeah.
I'd love to. So I first heard about Bitcoin back in 2013 when I was in an MBA class back in Newcastle University in the UK. And I quickly became very obsessed with it, considering its explosive potential that I foresee. And I quickly gathered two friends from McKinsey consulting company, one based in Canada, one based in Taiwan. So I had to literally wake up every morning, 4 a.m. for 3 months. That made me a morning person.
So just going through all these details that you can find on internet about Bitcoin.
Yeah, basically we were conducting a business plan, finding out what we could potentially do in this industry. There were already mining companies, exchange, payment, money services already. So what else could we do? What could be our advantage? So we had this conference call every morning across different time zones. And by the time I graduated, I came back to Taiwan, was thinking whether I should use this business plan to start officially a company or go out jump hunting. And apparently creating this business was the good and right choice to make. And we quickly went on to Indiegogo and did a $20,000 US campaign and gathered some early supporters, which at the end became our very loyal friends, customers.
There was the first generation CoolWallet, right?
Yes. But the market became so bad and so quiet by the end of 2015. There was a point of time for a few months we could not afford to pay anyone's salaries. But we survived. And at the end of 2016, we got our first round of seed money, $600,000 US. That kept us going and helped us to expand the team. And based on the experiences and the learnings we made from first generation wallets and the community we built, we delivered our second generation product called CoolWallet S. And that was quite a good success because to date, we already sold more than 100,000 units of those CoolWallet S. And I think with the acknowledgement from the wider space, like one of the largest Japanese online bank called SBI Group, that led Series A funding in our company with over 8 digits US. And that gives us a lot more support in the future expansion. And now we are on the road with all those giants to build and to reshape how cryptocurrency would work in the future.
So going forward, what is your plan for global expansion?
Okay, so our mission is to work closely with banking partners and regulators, building a more healthy crypto space, meaning there will be a lot less money laundering, a lot less hacks. Our biggest ambition is to eliminate the so-called completely hot wallet, the pure software wallets. I'm not saying we're not going to kill those companies. No, I'm saying what CoolBitX technology can be a very good complementary component of all those hot wallets. With our support, they can essentially enhance their security level by removing that private key storage out of the internet connected environment. smartphones where a lot of backdoors, loopholes exist. So I see there's a lot we can work with all those partners.
It's almost surprisingly good to see such a thin credit card size device can exist. You know, it's really a state-of-the-art engineering. But is there anything new that you can still add to this card? You know, what are your product roadmaps?
Okay, so this card, we put in so much effort to make it almost like a smartphone device, except it doesn't have internet. It has a screen, button, a secure element chip, and microcontroller unit, and a rechargeable battery. It's even rechargeable. And it also is equipped with the NFC communication interface, meaning in the future, like Charlie is building Litecoin Lightning Network. So we essentially can support Lightning Network, and one day when all the merchants accept crypto payments, our wallet NFC interface can quickly become the most ready crypto payment infrastructure. We essentially build a new version of Visa or credit card.
Can we imagine a world without a card? And if that world does come, and how will CoolBitX fit into that world?
Well, that day eventually will come. Eventually, all the current existing technologies will be in different shapes. And when that day comes, we'll just leverage our experiences, know-hows on how to do things right, do things securely in the new form factor where in the future people are used to.
So Charlie, I understand that previously you worked on several projects before Litecoin, but after Bitcoin was created. So what was your idea? You know, how did it evolve from the previous versions pre-Litecoin to Litecoin today?
Yeah, I guess I'll talk about a little bit about when I first found out about Bitcoin. Found about Bitcoin through a Silk Road article in Wired in 2011. And then I really got, like Michael, I got hooked onto Bitcoin. I saw it as like digital gold or better version of gold because it's digital, it's cheap to send to people and also cheap to store. And has a lot of the good sound money features like gold. So I basically dove head in and did everything, like started mining, played around with altcoins, bought into some Ponzi schemes. Yeah, everything related to Bitcoin. And then like in October of 2011, or September, October timeframe, I decided to start like doing some coding some altcoins. Right, the first one I created was called Fairbricks, which is a fair version of another one called Tenebricks, which had a huge pre-mine. I realized like people wanted coins that are fair. So eventually led me to creating Litecoin, which is one of the most like fairest coin, most a fair launch. It didn't pre-mine anything and became a success.
So I understand that both CoolBitX and Litecoin have mass adoption as one of the major goals in driving the industry forward. Maybe you can share with us a little bit about when you design the product or when you design Litecoin, you know, what are the parameters embedded in your design that will facilitate faster mass adoption and most importantly, safer mass adoption? Michael?
Okay, so when we were designing the product to fit into the purpose of getting crypto into mass adoption, meaning everybody should be able to use it with no trouble learning it. So it has to be a very convenient form factor. So we put in the credit card size device that can fit into everybody's leather wallet instead of having to have an extra pocket to carry it. That's first. Second, it's the mobile first approach. We've seen so many hardware wallets in the market, classic ones. So they are USB based and that require USB cable with a laptop connection. That serves the fundamental purpose of protecting users' private key. It's very good, very effective. But to let everybody, moms and dads, would be able to use it shopping on the street or doing a trade on the go, that's just too ineffective. Because it takes, if you're lucky, 3 minutes to conduct one transaction. From the moment you want to bring your wallet out, open your laptop, and open the software, everything. So when we built our product, CoolWallet S, what we improved the most is the whole operation speed. We shortened the time from that 3 minutes to 10 seconds. And it works perfectly with your everyday iOS and Android smartphones. You don't need to have an extra smart device to operate it. So we want people in the future, or even now, when they think about hardware wallet, they will forget about it used to work with laptops. Now hardware wallet works with smartphones wirelessly. So that's how we want to build a secure wallet product that has the top security standard, keeping the private keys off. But in the meantime, it's so easy to use, people won't feel uncomfortable using it.
But Charlie, what do you think in terms of mass adoption? And how do we define mass adoption? Right? Is it going to be a certain percentage of population using Bitcoin or Litecoins every day in their day-to-day work and transactions, or some other metrics? And would those considerations be part of your original designing ideas of Litecoin and in terms of strategy? And are you seeing the right trend right now in driving mass adoption?
Yeah, I mean, I see mass adoption as the majority of people using cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and others. By using, they're already using it for store of value, which some are today, and also for payments, right? It's basically, it's money, right? So cryptocurrency, so if people are using cryptocurrencies instead of other forms of money like fiat, then we've achieved mass adoption, right? So it's going to be a long process for us to get there, and we're making a lot of improvements. So last year, I focused on pushing for SegWit and Lightning, because I realized that in order for Bitcoin and Litecoin to become real useful as payments, we need second layer solutions like Lightning built on top of the network, the blockchain, to provide scale and speed and some privacy. So I realized Lightning was really important step towards mass adoption. So that's why I pushed really hard for Bitcoin and Litecoin to get SegWit. Mm-hmm. And now people are working hard on Lightning. And I think moving forward, like making that just very easy to use, the UX is very important, right? You have to be able to, and obviously CoolWallet is helping with that, making it easy for people to secure and spend their coins. I think security is really important, right? With cryptocurrency, you are your own bank, so you have to actually protect your own coins. And a lot of people have failed to do that and lost coins because they stored it on an exchange that got hacked, or they use a insecure wallet, or they printed it on a piece of paper and lost it, right? So it's very easy to lose your funds from hacking or from just by accident, right? So hardware wallets, especially easy to use ones like CoolWallet, is really important step towards making it easy for regular people to secure and spend their coins.
I think that these are very important points, because last year we've seen, with the epic rise of cryptocurrencies, especially altcoins driven by ICO mania, many hypes, but very little real understanding of what's really going on, and most importantly, what does it mean to be your own bank, right? And then, do you feel that the industry hasn't done enough to explain very carefully and clearly what does being your own bank mean to the consumer? And especially when now the mainstream institution or Wall Street institutions are trying to come in to take control of the industry to some extent. Do you feel that this is a healthy trend or by further participation of the legacy institution which have already the trust from the mainstream consumers and other enterprises who are very, very far away from understanding cryptos. Would that affect your companies and especially Litecoin in terms of positioning in this mass adoption trend?
Being your own bank is apparently one of the most great ideas ever since we've had traditional financial systems, because with the wallets like the ones we built, the meaning of being your own bank becomes literal, because there will be no one able to stop you from sending your money to somewhere you want, or there will be no one able to freeze your assets, and there will be no one to tell you, okay, today you can only send $500 to your friends somewhere else. So that gives a lot of liberal to how people use their finance assets now.
But still, if someone is pointing the gun to your head, it would be very difficult to to say no, right? If he forces you to transfer assets, right?
Yes.
Okay. But Litecoin, in this regard, will become a major force in mass adoption. How? Right?
Well, I see Litecoin as like complementing Bitcoin to serve alongside Bitcoin as sound money. I think in terms of like being your own bank, it's true that with cryptocurrency you get freedom of money, so you have control of your own funds. So no one can tell you that you can't spend money to like play poker online, for example. But also with that, you kind of have to protect your own money. But that doesn't mean like third-party solutions can't help with like hardware wallets or even like centralized solutions that can help secure. So you can have like kind of bank-like products like Coinbase, for example, where people trust them to secure the funds for you, right? So you deposit your funds with them. But the great thing about cryptocurrency is that it's open. So you can always pull your money out of Coinbase and put it somewhere else if you don't like them, right? So transferring on over like the blockchain, the Bitcoin Litecoin network is secure and it's not censorable. So that's the key thing about Bitcoin and Litecoin. And so there will be some people that will actually hold all their coins themselves. It's kind of like holding cash in your house under the mattress, right? You can always do that if you choose to, and you have to protect it yourself. Or you can put it in kind of like a crypto bank and have other people help you protect it. Or you can use hardware wallets, which make it a lot safer. So I see like multiple ways to kind of achieve mass adoption where people can actually use crypto without really being a security expert themselves.
But what about stablecoins then? We see many stablecoins operators teams are trying to create the crypto version of fiat currencies, whatever that means. But ultimately, I feel that it's going to be serving a complementary role to the existing financial infrastructure. But to CoolWallet and to Litecoin, would those stablecoins become competitors or also complementary to the use cases that you envision for your respective products?
I think having stablecoin in the market is definitely a complementary move, because imagine in current bear market, some people might panic sell, and if they sell their, let's say, Bitcoin into US dollar, traditional US dollar, it might take a while, a few days, if they want to move that US dollars to another exchange or to buy another type of crypto assets. But if they swap their Bitcoins to, let's say, USDT, it will make their funds more easy to move to anywhere else and easy to swap with another cryptocurrency. So in a sense, it increases the efficiency of a fiat currency.
But Litecoin and stablecoin, would you say that stablecoins are actually trying to take market share from other Bitcoin complementary coins, maybe, or Litecoin will be very unique compared to other stablecoins in terms of technology, use cases, and how do we educate the public about the subtle differences?
I think, I mean, it's a different market, right? So stable coins like USDT, it's part of the USD like market. So it's not like taking market share away from any other coins. I think there's definitely space for stable coins. Like Michael said, it's very useful if you want to cash out to stable coins instead of to US dollar. I'm not sure if there will ever be a decentralized stable coin that actually works. It might be the holy grail of stable coins. But definitely there will be centralized stable coins like Tether. And I think the government will eventually move in and create their own kind of stable crypto, fiat-backed crypto coin, right? There's been talks of possibly Taiwan doing a TWDT coin, right? So I think eventually governments, even potentially the US government, might do their own stable coin. And that's going to be a really powerful coin because it's backed by the government. And that's fine because fiat is backed by the government. So it's fine for the stablecoin itself to be backed by the government. And I think that would be very useful in the market to be able to trade crypto to stablecoin and even like spend it, right? So if merchants accept a stable coin backed by US dollar, then you can hold your coins in Bitcoin if you want because you believe Bitcoin is better store value or Litecoin, and convert it on the fly to the stable coin and spend it if that's better for the merchant.
So do you have any plans to support stable coins?
Yes, in fact, we the CoolWallet S already supports USDT token, and we are in development with one of the world's largest stablecoin upcoming provider. We'll announce it when it's live.
Okay. But I see that as many attempts to try to address these problems. And like Charlie mentioned about government support, and we're talking about the security aspects. But what are the real hurdles besides all these usual problems that we see in the market, hacking, lack of understanding, or even pump and dump scams, preventing a really secure mass adoption? Michael mentioned about maybe government, or is it volatility? What do you think?
I'd say because the regulators now still lack of understanding of how the entire IT side works behind cryptocurrency. So they're having a slow time building up their parameters on how to evaluate whether this wallet or that wallet or this exchange and that exchange is safe enough to really provide such financial service. It's pretty much like in the early days when Visa or MasterCard, they only issue a very simple embossed credit cards. And back then it was very easy to hack. And then they switched to MaxDrive, so a better version security. And then they improved to smart card chip, and then NFC. It's always a growing phases. But now, since we already witnessed the whole growing life of traditional financial payment methods, we can actually quickly adopt what's the learning result of that life cycle. So what CoolBitX is doing is to adapt the final result, the best quality, best security mechanism into the wallet system. So I think one of the most important missions of CoolBitX is to completely eliminate so-called pure hot wallet, because that's just not gonna work, because you can't allow a system that has ultimate loophole having backdoors in every single one of smartphones. And that's a lot of risks for users. And although some people may think it's okay to lose a little small amount of money because I only store, let's say, $10 US worth of coins on the wallet, but it's not a matter of how much you will lose. It's a matter of principle. It's a matter of the environment where it's just difficult to get hacked. That matters.
So Charlie, from your perspective, the user base for Litecoin, can you give us a sense of who they are? Or do you track, the community development from a Litecoin Foundation's perspective? Would you say that these users are different from the other crypto users, or are they more keen to support the mass adoption? And are they, who are they?
I mean, to be honest, most crypto users today are all speculators, right? They're speculating, they're investing, or speculating that the coin value will go up. There's not many people really using the coin right now, right? So I think we're still in kind of the speculator phase, right? So we're trying to move towards the usage phase, right? So we have a grassroots campaign called Pay with Litecoin, where people are tweeting about it, getting others to spend it, getting merchants to accept it, and just trying to create this economy. But it's tough in this environment where the volatility is so high, right? I think over time the volatility will decrease, and it has decreased a bit already, but it's still pretty volatile, and it's hard for people to spend coins when it's so volatile, because once the price is down like today, they're not willing to spend it because they think that the price will go back up. So I think this problem will solve itself in the future, but it will take some time.
But I understand, Charlie, you have very strong opinions against ICO. And we do see a lot of ICO scams are going on, and now the ongoing bear market is obviously trying to clear some of those, hopefully most of them, away from the market. Would you feel that this cleansing is a necessary step towards a more mature, more sober environment, so that the real users, not only just the speculators, but real users, not on the consumer side, but also on the enterprise side, will come in? And will Litecoin Foundation be driving or trying to accelerate that trend?
Sure. Like, I see ICOs more like gambling. So I mean, people are gamblers by nature and want to make more money by gambling. And I think a lot of these ICO projects are either outright scams, or they're kind of set up to fail, right? Just by the nature of how ICOs work, where they get the funds initially without a really solid plan. And once you have the money, you don't have an incentive to actually follow through with the plan. So as we see all these ICOs fail, I hope it's a good learning experience for these investors or speculators to realize that they should actually look into it more before just throwing money at these projects. And in the end, as you can see, like with this current crash, Bitcoin is the one that has crashed the least, right? And
well, Litecoin is
not
too bad.
It's bad, but compared to most coins have crashed like 95+%. Litecoin is like 80-some%. Bitcoin is like 60 or 70%, which is, it's all bad, right? But you can see like the really bad projects are the ones that are actually going towards zero. This happens every 2, 3, 4 years in the crypto space, right, where the market crash and then the strong ones actually survive. It's kind of like the internet bust, right? You see like the Google, Amazon, companies like that survive and become really strong. But a lot of the other companies like pets.com just get destroyed by the crash. And this is the same thing we'll see in crypto space. I think in the long term it's good, but I think we'll see more of this before it's all over.
I think it's so reminiscent of the past episodes of financial booms and busts in human civilization, right? But still, we need to go through this. But I do know CoolWallet supports a lot of some of the major crypto tokens issued under Ethereum. Would you feel that, are you aiding speculation, or are you trying to just answer the unmet demand of the consumers?
Okay, so we are not aiding the speculation of those ICO tokens. Instead, we are providing a secure method for those who already built an ICO token, or they already purchased, they've already participated. And since already bought a whole lot of tokens, they must have been provided a secure and easy to use way to keep them safe. Otherwise, before the market collapse, their assets may be stolen beforehand.
So how many tokens are you planning to add down the road?
We currently support, I think, 7 ERC20 tokens, and down the road, I think in 2 months, we'll be supporting a function where users can add any ERC20 tokens themselves.
Okay. I read this news recently about Litecoin Foundation buying a 10% stake in a German bank. Now, following up this discussion that we had about mass adoption and security and trust, is that part of your endgame strategy, trying to make Litecoin become part of the banking infrastructure by becoming more integrated with the bank, and then bringing in crypto technologies, maybe such as CoolWallet, or maybe some other new technologies that will emerge in the marketplace to create a, better or friendly bank, or even help people to really be their own bank in a better way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're coming from a different angle, right? So previously companies have tried to, Coinbase even tried to open bank accounts and got shut down because the banks don't want to deal with crypto. So buying a stake and having a voice with a bank, we're trying to come from a different angle where we can work with the bank to create crypto products for the bank's customers, right? So kind of coming in from that angle, potentially we could create more adoption that way. I mean, it's still kind of, we're going to try to see if it works, right? It's still an uphill battle. Still, there's going to be a lot of regulation. Banks are still not going to be super excited about supporting crypto, but it's worth trying, I think.
So assuming that we can clear all those hurdles, right? What are the products that you think this Litecoin bank, Litebank, so to speak, will issue the first?
I think the first things on the horizon are a crypto debit card.
Debit card.
Just make it easy for people to spend their cryptocurrencies. I mean, debit cards are kind of like a stepping stone towards actually really spending cryptocurrency. So another product would be just supporting merchant solutions, helping merchants convert cryptos they receive for fiat, because right now the crypto is still too volatile. So most major merchants won't want to hold cryptocurrencies. They will want to convert to fiat right away, hedge the money so that they can actually spend it on, because everywhere else they spend the money will be accepting fiat and not crypto. I think we need to do that first before we get into a crypto-only economy.
Do you feel that a crypto financial institution will be able to extend credit like any other good old banks have been doing for centuries, especially when the crypto assets volatility probably will continue for a while? Not to say that fiat currency is any stable. You look at the Turkish lira situation. But what are the preconditions for a crypto lending exercise taking root?
I don't think volatility matters that much to crypto lending, because it doesn't matter if the cryptocurrency is volatile. You're lending and returning crypto, right? So it doesn't matter how much it's actually worth. I think we're already seeing some solutions with crypto lending. I think it's just going to be more and more popular. We actually haven't thought too much about our bank partnership doing crypto lending, because it's still pretty risky, right? Because for one reason, why are people borrowing cryptocurrency instead of borrowing fiat, right? So if they borrow crypto because it's easier for them to borrow crypto and then they convert it to fiat, then the risk is high, because if the cryptocurrency goes up a lot, which we've seen last year, then they can't afford to buy them back to return it. So there's definitely more risk there.
So Michael, will we see a CoolWallet or Litecoin CoolWallet debit card or even credit card?
So it's definitely possible, right?
But what if we do see that with that kind of ability? How do you think the user behaviors would be different from using another credit card? Or is it that's your goal? You want the users to feel almost indifferent, or that there's no real difference, but it's just safer, cheaper, and faster?
I'd say it's from the infrastructure point of view, it's way more effective than what previous financial payment system works. Because holding the private keys inside the wallet card itself essentially makes it remove all the middleman layers. The card can just pay at the merchant or pay to your friends, and that transaction will go to the blockchain directly without having to go to intermediary bank or payment scheme like Visa or MasterCard and gets 3 to 5% fees every layer. So in a sense, it will save a lot of upfront cost for everyone, including the merchant and the customers.
So maybe you can share with us your vision. How do you want to drive CoolBitX forward? Is it just another water solution provider, a cybersecurity provider, or something even more?
I'd say it's pretty much like it'll become a gateway, because our wallet will be the most easy to use and secure platform for people to hold their assets, and that's where that becomes their wallet, right? So it's where the money is held that matters, because they will have to say, okay, now I have to pay to my friends, now I have to make a payment at a bank. So we can essentially integrate all the online or blockchain dApps, whatever that charges crypto as a payment or identity validation. So our wallet becomes a gateway to blockchain services. It won't be just for cryptocurrency, but also for blockchain identifications, because this wallet will essentially become the only thing blockchain knows. Thomas, you are you. It won't recognize your name, your face, but it only recognize your private key and the signature you signed from this wallet. And down the road, CoolWallet will be storing your cryptocurrencies, so also your KYC identities. So down the road, I think it will become the gateway.
So it's like a powerful universal global passport on the blockchain.
Yes, and I often tell this with to my team that eventually this wallet will become a national ID card for a government that already adopts blockchain technology, and it will allow you to vote remotely online using the technology.
I mean, how soon will we see that happen?
Well, we already saw Estonian government adopting blockchain technology. It's only a matter of time. I'd say in three years, we can see some prototype coming out.
Okay. Maybe Charlie, I think from many metrics that you're probably one of the most respected leaders in the crypto community, and sometimes exerting very sober and very rational opinions about how the industry should be going. Given this ongoing bear market and a lot of the corrections, what is your vision? How are you going to, if you were to try to drive industry forward, try to drive the community forward, what are the key messages that you'd like to share?
Well, something I posted like December of last year was that I've seen quite a few of these corrections, right? The corrections can be up to 90% drop and last like 2-3 years. So at that time I urged people, don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Right? If you invest money that, I see a lot of people posting today that they're really hurting today for money, but it's because they overextended themselves. people who overextend themselves are the ones that are selling at this point. And those are the ones that actually lose, right? If you invest and you can actually hold on through the bear market, eventually, I'm very optimistic about the future potential, right? The price will come back. It might take a few years, or it might be tomorrow. Who knows, right? With cryptocurrency, but if you don't invest too much that you can't afford to lose, then you'll be fine in the end. So I always tell people to invest like smartly. And then the thing about this bear market is that a lot of times people actually can stop worrying about price in the bear market and actually focus on getting work done. So a lot of good cryptocurrency infrastructure get built during the bear market. And I think in the end, I think that's fine. We'll just survive this bear market and come out strong at the end. And we'll have Lightning Network and other great technologies being built out in this time.
So maybe on the concluding remarks, can you share with us your views on some of the ongoing developments for this critical infrastructure in the crypto space that you think are going to be very, very important for a better future?
Sure. Getting a bit more technical, like Lightning Network I think is very important. Connecting the Lightning Network together with different currencies like both Bitcoin and Litecoin will be on the Lightning Network, and by being on the Lightning Network they can actually be swapped atomically. I think that's a very cool technology that will happen in the next year, that lets you in a decentralized manner send Litecoin and the recipient will receive Bitcoin and vice versa. So if a merchant accepts Bitcoin and you only have Litecoin, you can still pay them. Other technologies are like confidential transactions. I think fungibility is one of the main features of money that is missing in cryptocurrency, or at least in Bitcoin and Litecoin. And I think that's something that I want to see improve, where people have their privacy when spending money. So if you get, eventually, if people get paid in cryptocurrency, if you get your salary in cryptocurrency, you don't want to like expose that to Starbucks when you buy a cup of coffee, because right now you will, right? If you spend that money to buy something, the recipient will see it publicly on the blockchain and see how much money you have, and that's just not good money, right? You don't want to have to. Right now, a lot of people, advanced users, when they spend coins, they actually have to pick and choose which coin to spend, because some coins are tied to like their savings account, and they don't want that to be known, so they have kind of like a separate checking account and savings account. This is something that you really don't want the average person to really think about. So I think fungibility, which is like privacy, makes a lot of sense to add to Bitcoin and Litecoin. Other things are like there's ways to help Bitcoin scale, like Schnorr signatures and other cool features that people are currently working on right now. I think scaling is very important. So for mass adoption, Lightning Network is one way to scale. There are other ways to help kind of scale the network to support a lot more users.
So Litecoin Summit will be held in September.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Michael, you're going to be there as well?
Yes, I'll be giving a speech in the Litecoin Summit and make a major announcement.
So we will look forward to the major announcements. Thank you very much for your time today.
Well, thank you, Thomas.